Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am in full-on Thanksgiving, I started to say turkey, Thanksgiving Day preparations. And I've been cleaning house and got my groceries bought up, got the Thanksgiving turkey thawing. And tomorrow is baking day. Cheyenne will be here and baby Howie, and we will be baking pies and making preparations and doing all the things that we can do a day ahead of time, just so that we're not tired as dogs on Thanksgiving Day, and that we can enjoy being with the family without falling asleep the minute we sit down in a chair. I want to take this opportunity to tell you that I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families, and that you're with people that you love and that love you. Now, I wanted to ask this question tonight: what Thanksgiving means to you. Now, if you ask a big group of people what Thanksgiving means, they're going to give you the definition that we all learned when we were kids in school, about the Pilgrims and the Indians and Plymouth Rock and the Mayflower and all of the ins and outs, all the things that we've heard down through the years. You know, the meal and how the Indians helped the Pilgrims and all of that. And you know, down through the years there have been divisions about that, and there's been issues with that. And regardless of where you come down on the issues, my family celebrates Thanksgiving as a day to come together to celebrate what God has done for us, and just simply giving thanks back to Him. What does Thanksgiving mean to you? Well, to me, when I think about Thanksgiving, there's all kinds of memories that pop up. I can remember my childhood when you were in grade school and you had to color the pictures of the turkeys and the Pilgrims and the Indians, and they usually had you making the little pilgrim hats or the little Indian headbands with the feathers. And I can remember being in a school play one time, and I'm kind of shocked knowing how bashful that I am, that I was able to do it. But I had, in the 4th grade, I was a little pilgrim girl, and my aunt and my mom made my costume, and they made this little pretend pumpkin pie, my aunt did, and I had to bring it out holding it and recite a poem. And I don't remember the poem at all. I don't even remember going out on stage and saying the poem. I just know that I actually made it through. I can't believe that I did, but I actually made it through saying the poem. Another thing that I think of at Thanksgiving time is family and how important that they are. And there have been years that I've been really close in distance to family. They were just right around me. And there's other years that Howie and I were off pastoring a church, and we would have to drive in, you know, we lived several hours away, 5 or 6 hours away, and we had to drive home. And was always excited to get to come home and see family. My granny and grandpa, that's where we were going, they had a big, huge mailbox, like 2 or 3 times bigger than an average mailbox. And they had it out there by the road, and you had to drive down a lane to their house. And I would begin watching for that mailbox way, way off, because you could see it. You couldn't see other mailboxes, but you could see that one because it was so big. And when I got to the place that I could see that mailbox way down the road, I was so excited because I was almost home. And I could guarantee you that when we got down the driveway, my granny would be standing on the front porch waiting for me. And man, did I ever hurry up and get out of that car and go running to my granny. And she always had a hug, and she always had a smile. She loved her family, and she was the one that taught me to look well to the ways of my household. One of the ones. I had several in my life, but my granny was one of the biggest proponents of that, and I'm so thankful for her. She's been gone for a long time now, but one day I'm going to get to see her again when we go to that great homecoming. Family meals at Thanksgiving time were a sight to behold. And I don't know about you guys, but when you get all your aunts and your grannies and everybody bringing in dishes, you've got quite a spread. And there was always plenty of food for everybody. And Granny, she knew who liked what. And she would say, this one likes apple pie, and this one likes pecan pie, and this one likes pumpkin pie. And she would make sure that she had those for her family. There were lean years. There were. And there were years that things were really good. Harvest was good. The job went well. Money was there. But there was always food. Always. No matter if it was a rough year or if it was a good year. They maybe had to adjust the menu a little bit, but there was always plenty for people to eat. Another thing that I can think of with my family is every year after dinner, everybody was still sitting around chatting. They didn't just jump up and leave. They stayed around and they loved on each other. They, caught up with each other and found out how they were doing and how's your kids and how's your job and how's this and how's that. And the other thing is there was always a football game in the background. Always on Thanksgiving there was a football game going in the background. Lots of laughter, lots and lots of laughter. They enjoyed being together. Those are the things that I think of with Thanksgiving. And there was always a prayer. When it came time for the meal, we had my cousin's husband, different ones would say, pick him, because he would say the prayer and it was just short little, thanks for the food, little bitty thing, and amen, and everybody could eat. Now, my grandma didn't really like that. She expected you to say a prayer over the meal and to really, give a thorough blessing. And but they would just insist that he prayed because it was quick and over with. Well, Howie and I, we usually have Thanksgiving here at our house, and this year is no different. Last year was a wonderful, wonderful year for Thanksgiving, and even though we had went through all the virus and stuff, at that time, Howie just insisted that he have Thanksgiving here. Now, I'll just throw this in here because I know I'm going to get some comments on it. We had Thanksgiving at our house last year. We got sick after Thanksgiving, and I believe around the 12th of December, Howie had to be put in the hospital. But we did not get the virus from Thanksgiving dinner. We pretty much know where we got the virus from, and it was weeks after Thanksgiving. That being said, back to it. Howie was always responsible for the prayer at Thanksgiving. And although he didn't say a long prayer, he said a thoughtful prayer. He meant it from his heart, what he was telling the Lord about being thankful and being giving. Since this year, Howie's not here. He's went on to be with the Lord. And I know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the prayer, saying the prayer, will fall to me. I'll be the one that brings the family prayer this year. And I've been thinking about it. I want to be responsible. Now, I know my family, and they're not going to expect me to say a 10-minute prayer. But what I want to say, I want it to come from my heart, and I want to mean it. So I've been pondering the last few days. You do that a lot when you're by yourself. You have a lot of time to think. And I've been thinking about what I really was thankful for. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Really think about what you're thankful for. It's easy to say, well, we're thankful, we're blessed. We see those signs a lot. That's really popular in farmhouse decorating today, the trend, having thankful signs. And I've got one on my refrigerator, and I have a sign over there on my table that says simply blessed. I had to look at it, see what it says. Simply blessed. One of my tags on my Facebook page is blessed beyond measure. And it's easy to say those things, But I am challenging myself, and I'm challenging you guys as well, to really think about what you're thankful for. You know, most of us would say, well, I'm thankful for my family and my house and my car and my job, and that's true. All those things we should be thankful for. But I begin to think about who's going to be around my table. Here at my house this year, 4 generations will be around my table. There'll be Howie's dad, and of course Howie won't be here, but his some of his siblings will be here. And then there'll be Blade, and there'll be baby Howie. I'm thankful for that because life goes on. It's going to be hard with Howie not being here, but his sweet grandson, named after him, is going to be here. And when I look at him, I can see the promise of tomorrow. I can see Blade Ryan is so much like his dad. And Howie was so much like his dad. Unreal, really. But I want to be thankful for each individual person that is around my table. Not just my children. My little daughter-in-law is my daughter. You know, I have prayed a long time for my son. And I prayed that God would give him a wife that could be a daughter to me as well. And she is. Now, not to take away from her mama, because I know she loves her mama and her mama loves her. But I'm adopting her. I can be her second mother. And I look at Howie's family, where, you know, how they have all blessed me this year. Yes, I went through a rough, dark time. But God put people around me that I can be thankful for. I can be thankful that that Blade was there for me in Cheyenne, that Howie's parents all were there to help me out and to encourage me to keep going and to keep trying. His sisters and his brother, their families. My nephews that have been so faithful to come out and help us to work cattle and to do things when Blade wasn't able to be there. Those boys stepped in and they helped. And I've had to tell them before, I don't have anything to offer you but my thanks. And they have it. I am thankful for them. I am thankful for my home. And I'm thankful for church and to live in this country. You know, we can name off all kinds of things that we should be thankful for in this country. I'm thankful for God's divine providence. When He moved in my life when I didn't even know what I was going to do, He was there. See, this year, when I say the prayer, I don't want to just say empty words. I want to say words that are impactful, that are meaningful, that mean something to me, that I can give thanks back to my Creator for all of the things that He did for me, for His love and His mercy and His compassion. The word thanksgiving, I want to do that part, the thanks part, but I also want to be a giver. Now, I don't have a lot monetarily. I don't. But there's others, and some of you would probably say the same thing. You know, groceries are going high, and gas is going high, and all these things are going up. And we really don't have a lot of things monetarily to give. But we have other things that we can give. And I think that we are charged with that, to be givers. We can give of our love. And this nation, all around the world, really needs more love and understanding and compassion. We need to give of ourselves. Be a teacher, not necessarily in the public schools. We have teachers there, but what I mean is, you know, give freely of your wisdom and knowledge, teaching others the things that you've learned, that you might be able to impart to them, so that they, when they face that situation, they're able to make it through. They're able to know how to plant a garden, or they're able to take care of some animals, or they're able to cook, or to drive a tractor, or whatever it is. This year, try to give of yourself, some of your wisdom, some of your knowledge. Maybe you say, hey, I work and I have nothing left at the end of the month, but you know how to sew, or you know how to crochet, or maybe you're going to teach somebody to read, which is a very important thing. Maybe you can teach a first aid class, or the list just goes on and on. If we're willing to be a giver of our time and be a giver of our wisdom, share some of our wisdom. Now, I'm not talking about you guys that always are, there are those that are very free with their opinions, and I'm not necessarily talking about that, giving your opinion all the time, but share your wisdom and share your knowledge. We are caught up in the society of, I can tell you what I think about you anytime I want, because I'm a keyboard warrior and I hide behind the scenes, and I'm not afraid of confronting you because you can't see me. And people will tell you the ugliest stuff, things that hurt your feelings. You have to, kind of try to toughen your skin up a little bit, because they're free to say it, and they don't have any holdbacks. They're gonna just let it go with both barrels. Try to be an encourager this year. Try to be one that, tries to lift other people up. To try to teach and also encourage them in that. Sometimes people face things and they just need somebody to say, hey, you can do it. You're going to be all right. We can make it. The things that are going on right now, I think that a lot of YouTube creators are trying to get the message out there, trying to teach people, trying to encourage people to prepare and to set things aside. They're out there trying to teach you how to do things, and that's a form of encouragement. We're trying to encourage you to look well to the ways of your household. That's what I want to do. I want to be thankful for all the things that God has done. He has been so faithful and so true. I want to be that way too. I want to be thankful to Him, and I want to be a giver to others any way that I possibly can. Well, guys, I know this one has probably been a strange one. I just wanted to tell you guys happy Thanksgiving and give you some thoughts when you're sitting around and you are stuffed with turkey and ham and all of the trimmings, or maybe your family has Mexican for Thanksgiving, or whatever it is that you have. When all of that is said and done, to remember, take the rest of the year to be thankful. Take the rest of the year to be giving. Make that a word, Thanksgiving. Don't just pack it away in the closet with the Thanksgiving tablecloths and the pumpkins and the turkey platter. Make it a whole year of Thanksgiving. Challenge yourself to be thankful every day. Challenge yourself to be a giver. And challenge yourself, we don't all have that money, and it seems like less and less of us do. But we can be a giver in other ways. Look for ways to be a teacher. Look for ways to be an encourager. Look for ways to be a giver, and I promise you, if your heart's in it, God will reveal to you ways to do those things. Well, I hope you guys have a blessed Thanksgiving, and that you spend your time with those that you love, that you're surrounded by love and family and some of that good turkey. And until next time, guys, this is Josie. I love you. I really do. We're gone.